Welcome to MHK All Day. I'm Danielle Leon. We're glad you could join us. Have you heard what's going on around the Flint Hills? K-State has issued a notice to students and faculty about sexual assault. The Riley County Police Department is looking for a suspect who is reported to have sexually assaulted a young woman during a house party on October 16th. Due to the nature of the crime, no further details have been released. RCPD is continuing to investigate the crime. If you have any information related to the crime, please contact the Riley County Police Department. Anonymous tips can also be sent using the Silent Witness website. The director of the office that investigates sexual violence reports at the University of Kansas has resigned. Jay McQueenie has stepped down from his job as the director of KU's Office of Institutional Opportunity and Access. The office was created in 2012 to investigate reports of sexual violence as well as other discrimination on campus. KU and K-State are both amid a large number of colleges who are being investigated for their handling of sexual assault cases. Wamego City Park will soon be the site of new Veterans Memorial. On Monday, 6 members from American Legion Post 172 were the first to break ground on the new site. The community of Wamego raised the $230,000 needed for the memorial in just 2 years instead of 5. Way to go, Wamego. The memorial will honor veterans who fought in all wars. Continuing our theme of project-based learning, the K-State Theater Department routinely offers students the opportunity to get hands-on experience through a variety of classes. Students gain skills in areas like construction, painting, costume, design, lighting, and sound design. Courses like Fundamentals of Technical Production give students experience through building and painting sets in the scene shop. These sets are used for theater and dance shows that take place throughout the year.
I think that the way the theater department utilizes their students to give them both skills and help build the sets, to do the sound, is a wonderful thing. It really gives us an all-inclusive kind of tour of theater. So I think it's really wonderful that tech classes are in our basis, no matter what major you are.
We have people working in New York, we have people working in Chicago, we have people working out in LA doing this kind of work.
We have an update now on last week's Cancer Awareness Show. The American Cancer Society has released new guidelines asking women to begin their annual breast cancer screenings at 45 instead of 40. The guidelines also say to switch every other year at 55. Governor Sam Brownback's budget director may be in hot water. The Wichita Eagle has reported that budget director Sean Sullivan had access to his official state email account just before Christmas last year. Sullivan says he used his personal account to send a draft of the governor's tax plan to 2 lobbyists because he did not have access to his official mail. Some believe that Sullivan may have used his personal email account to avoid public notice. Some Fort Riley soldiers and families got to experience the ultimate NFL thrill. The USAA, the official military sponsor of the NFL, stopped by Fort Riley as part of their Salute to Service tour. Fort Riley families were invited to look at the history behind the NFL, take a picture with the coveted Lombardi Trophy, and play the quarterback challenge game. The tour is meant to give military families an interactive football experience while also educating them on insurance options. The tour has 19 more military stops left. Coming up, you'll never guess who is here to talk about the newest K-State athletic program. And don't forget to keep up with us on MHK All Day and on Facebook.
Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way.
Since opening its doors, the International Animal Health and Food Safety Institute has had literally thousands of people take advantage of the facilities and academic programs that are being developed. K-State Olathe offers a unique opportunity for scientists from industry and academia to work side by side, focused on addressing real-life issues and training the workforce. Progress is being achieved. K-State Olathe, now open for business.
It was the day the music nearly died. Little remained after a 1968 fire roared through Nichols Hall at Kansas State University, reducing the music department to rubble. But before the embers of that terrible fire had even died, a new fire blazed within every member of the Wildcat Band. Using the only sheet music that survived the fire, the band pumped up the next home crowd with a rousing rendition of Wabash Cannonball. To this day, the jingle, the rumble, and the roar still fire up the fans and brings them to their feet. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. We have some breaking sports news now. A K-State basketball player was arrested last night. Camus Stokes was arrested by the Kansas State Police Department for failing to appear for a traffic citation. His bond was set at $175 and was released on bond last night. Stokes is a freshman point guard for the team. In other news, sports all throughout the state of Kansas are now in full swing. To tell us more about the Royals and their run to take the crown, sports reporter Tanner Barth here with me.
Thanks, Daniela. And the Royals are on the verge of back-to-back World Series appearances. Yesterday afternoon, the Royals were able to blast the Blue Jays 14-2. Big game for the Bats. Really came to life in this one for the boys in blue. It only took 4 pitches, and the Royals take a big lead off a long ball by Ben Zobrist. The Blue Jays infielder Cliff Pennington made a history last night. The first ever non-pitcher to pitch in the postseason. They were getting killed. They didn't have any other pitchers, so they brought in the infielder, and he did a heck of a job. Game 5 starters for this afternoon for the Royals will be Edison Volquez taking the mound for the Royals, as well opposing him for the Blue Jays will be Marco Estrada. Estrada was the Game 5 loser. Edison Volquez the Game 1 winner. It should be an interesting matchup. Blue Jays and Royals, American League Championship is on the line at 3:07 today. Royals and Blue Jays square off north of the border. It's at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Canada. Switching now from baseball to soccer. Kansas State University announced last October that it would be adding a Division I collegiate women's soccer team. The team will compete in the first season of the intercollegiate soccer in the fall of 2016. We are now joined by the man in charge of the new program. Coach Mike DeBinney is here with us today. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And Coach, when you talk about this, with the first year being here at K-State, how has the K-State family really welcomed in this soccer program into the community of Manhattan?
They've been very, very welcoming. The K-State family has been very generous and very supportive of everything we've done. We've been getting a lot of invitations to a lot of events throughout the community, so we've been attending quite a few of those. Our Founders Club memberships are over 800 members, so that speaks highly for itself, especially where we don't even start for another year. So our membership's growing, and our K-State family welcoming has been very, very good.
And when talking about your program, as we said, it's a new program building from the ground. How much are you expecting, like you said, in-state members into the state of Kansas to kind of make a great contribution to this program in the first seasons and in the years to come?
I think there's a lot of talent in the state of Kansas. If we happen to carry 25 to 30 players total, I would say half of the roster should be compromised from the state of Kansas, especially in the cities of Kansas City and Wichita, where soccer is very big.
And when you're talking about this program, as we said, it's a program that you had to start from the bottom. Do you think, has it been a daunting task stepping in as a first-year head coach, coming to Kansas State, and having to take on the task of starting a program from the very bottom?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a process. But the coaching staff and I have been working really hard to identify the right student athletes for the program and the right fit for K-State. And creating our own culture, it's an opportunity to do that from the beginning, and starting from scratch is very, very important, and we're excited about it.
And where are you guys expected to play and practice at this season? I know that they're working on the facilities behind the baseball complex. Have you guys been practicing indoors for now, or where are you expecting to play and practice for not only this part of your season, kind of getting things together, but when you come into conference play and that non-conference schedule you're going to play next season?
Yeah, currently we are training in the indoor facility, so it's been very, very helpful to get in and get our reps in. Next fall, we're planning on training at the new soccer complex, using the soccer competition fields plus the football practice field. So we're excited about that opportunity.
So you've got the players starting to roll, and how is your coaching staff starting to shake things out? Are you starting to get everyone lined in place, whether it's recruitment, assistant, all of those type of staffs you got on your program?
Yeah, the biggest agenda we had to cover was recruiting. And hiring Gabe Roman, my assistant coach from the past and former player, was our first step. Now we're in the process of hiring our second coach, coming probably within the next month or two.
So how important is it for you guys to really get this fall 2016 non-conference schedule under your belts before you move on to play in the Big 12 Conference, who, as we said, is one of the toughest soccer conferences in the nation? We've got KU at the top, who's always really competitive, competing for national titles. How important is it for you guys to get in this non-conference and get your feet underneath you next fall?
It's very, very important to get our feet wet, understand the level of play, know our strengths and weaknesses, and try to prepare for the Big 12.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you for joining us today. And that was head coach Mike Dabini coming in here and chatting about the brand new K-State University women's soccer program. We wish you the best of luck, and you and your program, and hopefully success comes with you and you guys can get it done and continue to make a great program here at Kansas State.
Thank you for having us.
Back to you, Daniela.
Thank you, Tanner and Coach Dabini, for joining us. And to keep up with MHK All Day crew and everything that's happening in the Flint Hills, please follow us on Twitter at MHK All Day.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
From the Little Apple to the Big Apple, through internships, networking, and great professors, Lauren Bishop landed the job of her dreams, working with entertainers and celebrities for a PR firm in New York City. From backstage at the 25th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, watching Mick Jagger and Bono rock, to London for the launch of a new luxury hotel, Lauren Bishop is living her dream. That's the Wildcat way. In 2005, a Kansas State aviation student volunteered to be a mechanic for the Global Flyer ground team in Salina, Kansas. Jim Reed's love of aviation and being a mechanic converged that day, and his career took flight. Employed by Virgin Galactic, he now helps build spaceships. Spaceships for those who want to see planet Earth like an astronaut. That's the Wildcat way.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. While most people agree we should support our troops, most people stop at thanking soldiers for their service. One group here at K-State is doing a little bit more to give back to these men and women. A group of K-State students are working with one local man to help wounded soldiers get back to their lives. Kenya Mills brings us this heartwarming story.
This land neighboring Fort Riley is the prototype for a dream farm. Gary LaGrange dreams of converting a large farm like this one into a place where he can turn wounded veterans into farmers. He calls this program SAVE, Soldier Agricultural Vocational Education.
We're making great strides, far more than I would have thought at this point, in designing how this can be laid out to accommodate 100 students, teaching 100 students at a time to become farmers.
And Kansas State University students are helping LaGrange make his dream a reality. The architecture, planning, and design graduate students are working day and night to design the farm and rehabilitation center for SAVE.
It's a great honor. There's also a bit, there's some pressure because, he's expecting us to kind of help him and achieve kind of like the best version of this building and this project.
Xavier Gavin says people like wounded veterans should be part of the thought process for any architectural design.
So I think it's important to remind yourself that there are people out there like that, and that designing spaces for them should be kind of something that we think about a little bit more.
This is more of like the research portion of what I do.
And Christina Donnelly shares some of her sketches and research for the SAVE Chapel and Garden.
So like, what is a reach for someone who's in a wheelchair, like, and how is that going to impact how big that flower box or planter box is going to be? I come from a family full of farmers and soldiers, and so they have been overly curious about it. All of them are wanting to know, how's that going to work? How are you guys going to do that? And they are usually super psyched about this.
Through every step of the design process, the students work closely with Mr. LaGrange, adjusting their designs based on not only his feedback, but that of farmers, soldiers, and LaGrange's daughter, a mental health counselor.
I was absolutely amazed at how much could come. Groupthink is powerful. And when you get that many good minds in a room together to lay out a farm, it's just a wonderful opportunity.
We hope that they learn by doing this project how they can make a difference in somebody else's life.
In Manhattan, Kenya Mills, MHK All Day.
Reporter Kenya Mills is now joining me. So Kenya, can you tell me a little bit as to how we can help get Mr. LaGrange's Save the Vision project off the ground?
Sure, a very practical way. All you have to do is buy a bottle of their Golden Prairie honey, and you can get it at the Meadowlark Retirement Home. You can also get it at the Kansas Nature Center or the zoo, and all the proceeds that they make from this honey goes to the SAVE organization. Now they're trying to build a farm that houses 100 soldiers at a time, and they're also trying to get an online school going, and this requires a lot of money for equipment, books, online, everything. So all you got to do is buy this honey. It's called Golden Prairie honey, and it's got a little soldier on the top.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but that's really cute.
Yeah.
So how much is it per bottle?
I am not sure, but all I know is that all the money goes to the organization, and also it's been bottled by wounded soldiers. He is actually training a lot of them to become beekeepers. So
that's nice. Well, what a sweet way to give back to these soldiers. So thanks, Kenya. Sure. When you were a little kid, did you dream of becoming a rocket scientist? I don't know if that's the case. Well, but for some kids in Bergman Elementary School, they are trying to launch into learning by building their own rockets. Lacey Siefkin joins us now and shares with us just a little on how these scientists and what they learned.
3, 2, 1! Rockets away! Launch pad at Manhattan's Frank V. Bergman Elementary School. The weather was beautiful for Mr. Eichhoff's 6th grade class final rocket blast-off. Dennis Eichhoff's rocket unit started back in September, giving the students a fun opportunity to take their learning to a new level.
It's a competition to which rocket will fly the furthest, and the winning team wins a pizza party, compliment of me.
Pizza isn't the only goal Mr. Eichhoff wants the students to take from their competition.
What I want them to take away is that through failure we can achieve success.
This hands-on learning Eichhoff has been perfecting for the past 12 years.
This unit on rocketry, it puts every kid on the same playing field, because regardless of they're either a great math student or not, they can watch and they can learn and they can listen, and that's what I tell them at the beginning of the unit, to watch, learn, and listen.
Eichhoff has gone to infinity and beyond, building the class's launch pad himself that just applies water and pressure, causing their rockets to soar to new heights of learning.
My favorite part is watching the kids and the expression on their face when they see that final product fly 200-300 feet, when just 2 days earlier it only flew 20 feet. And the awe and the look on their face is priceless. It really is.
Ever seen. And it looks like those cute kids are going to blast off into a bright future, which is finally here. That's right, today is the day Doc Brown and Marty McFly traveled to to the Back to the Future tour. The future isn't quite what we expected, but here are a few things the movie got right. Giant and ad for Jaws 19 is shown while we aren't to Jaws. I'm sorry, we're having teleprompter issues. I apologize. In other news, when we come back, we'll have some more sweet things that are happening here in the Flint Hills. Stay tuned. Would you like to be featured on MHK All Day? All you have to do is send us your pictures on Facebook or Twitter with the hashtag MHK All Day, or send your pictures to mhkalldayShow@gmail.com. You could even end up on TV.
Who is going to help safely feed 9 billion people in the year 2050? Who will design sustainable cities that can flourish? Who is going to shed light on dark matter and origins of the universe? Where will we teach the scientists who will engineer our future? At one of the world's top research universities, Kansas State University.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
Choose your direction and navigate the road to success. Discover opportunities. Make connections. Reach your destination. Earn a degree online from Kansas State University. Choose your direction. We'll help navigate.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. We apologize for those technical issues that occurred during the last segment. But in other news, there are some cool people around the Flint Hills. Here are a few that we'd like to give a pat on the back. A K-State professor has been selected to serve on the International Film Panel. For the second year in a row, anthropology professor Harold Prince will be judging films made by junior anthropologists across the world. Prince will help choose 4 winners who will receive $40,000 fellowships. One K-State professor's book is gathering national awards. Professor of Music Wayne Goins was awarded the 2015 Association for Recorded Sound Collection Awards for excellence in historical recorded sound research for his biography of well-known blues musician Jimmie Rodgers. The book also earned the Living Blues Magazine Award for the Best Blues Book of the Year. K-State is getting national recognition for its apparel program. Reporter Ashlyn Turner shows us the man who puts K-State on the map and why he thinks there's more to designing clothes than meets the eye.
One down. And then I get to do pants next week.
Meet Aaron Simon, a current junior at Kansas State University who is majoring in apparel design. Mr. Simon spends most of his days and nights in the studio working on projects and designs.
We call it the Alpaca Project. It's for the Alpaca Owners Association. They design 2 to 3 different looks made of alpaca fibers. So, I mean, they can do wovens, they can do knits.
Each year, Sherry Haar, a professor in apparel design, will submit student designs to the Alpaca Project competition. Out of 76 entries, Aaron Simon's Alpaca Project was awarded first place in the country. He also received 2 more awards for being the judge's choice and having the best essay.
For the first time ever, Aaron had the hat trick or the triple crown of the alpaca competition. This has never happened. and a male has never placed first place ever in the history of the competition.
Aaron explains why these awards meant more to him than just a title and a ribbon around his neck.
It was exciting. It was really, really fun, but it also, that was big for me because it really affirmed that I'm in the right place and I'm doing the right thing and I'm kind of on track with what's going on with fashion, and so it was a really fun experience.
The apparel industry is the third largest industry in America. Aaron says he will continue to work hard on his projects with the hopes of someday becoming a designer for men's activewear. Reporting for MHK All Day, I'm Ashlyn Turner.
What an awesome project to get a behind-the-scenes look at. K-State students seem to be the perfect fit for the competition each year. It will be exciting to see what design creation students come up with this year. K-State will hold 2 performances of the Rocky Horror Picture Show this year. The show starts at 10:30 at the K-State Student Union Ballroom on both Friday and Saturday. But watch out, this show is not kid-friendly. If you're looking for something to take your kids to, Sunset Zoo is having its spectacular on Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4:30. For $5, you can take them trick-or-treating. 2 adults get in free for every kid. If you're a ghost junkie, you might want to check out the Fort Riley Ghost Tours on Sunday from 3:30 to 8:30. There's a lot of walking for the tours, so be sure to grab a jacket and wear comfy shoes. And I would even suggest grabbing a water there. So Tanner, are you going to do anything exciting? Go to any haunted houses this week or anything like that?
I don't know. I may. I've decided maybe to go out to a few pumpkin patches and check out the some of the corn mazes. I don't know. I've kind of find corn mazes are always kind of a fun thing to go do with some friends and stuff like that. So I may go out there, check that out, see what that's about.
So you're not much of a haunted house kind of guy? Why?
I'll stay away from that. I'm more of a, let's relax and walk, and if something pops out, I'll be scared, but I don't want to know I'm going to be scared.
Well, I'm the complete opposite. So, those Royals, they won last night, and today is the final
game
straw.
If the Royals
win. What do you think this means for the Royals?
I think if Kansas City can find a way to come out and get the lead early once again and get another great pitching performance from Edison Volquez, I think they have a great chance to win this game and not even have to go back to Kansas City to see if they can clinch another World Series berth, because if they do, it's back-to-back World Series for the Kansas City Royals.
I agree. And then the Mets are leading
Absolutely.
the NL, so
it's going to be a great series no matter what.
Well, thanks for watching MHK All Day. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll have more to you, and we'll also be having our Halloween special, so that'll be lots of fun. So make sure you grab your pumpkin spice latte next week and get cozy. Thanks for joining us. I'm Danielle Leon, and I'm joined with Tanner Barth.